Let's get honest here for just a second. There are times in life where it's perfectly acceptable to live in the moment. In fact, it's preferred. Times like traveling or vacationing, spending quality time with the people you love or people you don't see often, or even just being fully present when you're doing something you enjoy doing. In those instances, focusing on the current moment is a must, being mindful, being present, being intentional, 100% acceptable. It helps you make the most out of life. However, there are other times where you need to be forward thinking, you need to be future focused, and oftentimes it's with your money. Long term success with your money requires you to have a future focused mindset. Money is the one area in our lives where you shouldn't always be living in the moment. Embracing the YOLO, you only live once mantra is going to do you harm. When it comes to our finances, we need to keep the future in mind. We need to make sure that our present actions have positive and not negative effects on our future finances. So, if you struggle with thinking long term with money, if you can't seem to envision yourself in the future, if you just need some encouragement to start practicing delayed gratification with your spending, I want to help. In this video, I'm sharing some long-term success tips for your money. So tips to help you see long-term success with the money you make. So let's dive in. The first tip is creating a budget that aligns with your lifestyle. So notice I didn't say, well, just create a budget and leave it at that. Your budget should reflect the things that matter most to you. Your budget should make sure the most important things are accounted for, and your budget should also ensure that you are working towards your goals. If you want to see long-term success with your money, your budget needs to align with your lifestyle. But I need to get one thing clear here. A budget is not about restricting yourself or cutting out everything you enjoy. It's about aligning your spending to the things that matter most to you. So maybe you're wondering, well, how do I create a budget that works with my lifestyle? Start by identifying your priorities. Do you value traveling, dining out, a nice wardrobe, or saving for a dream home? Take a close look at your income and your expenses to see where your money is going right now and whether it actually reflects your values or not. When your spending aligns with your goals and lifestyle, you'll feel it's easier for you to actually stick to a budget and you'll feel a lot less deprived along the way. So creating a budget that aligns with your lifestyle and working to stick to that budget is a recipe for long-term success and sustainability. And I think in addition to our values, your budget should also reflect your reality. So maybe you don't value, paying bills, or you don't value paying towards your student loans, but that's your reality right now. So please make sure that you are factoring the necessary things into your budget, even if they're not what you exactly want. But also, make sure that your budget includes the things that you enjoy. If you love weekend brunches, if you have a passion for yoga classes, make sure those things are factored into your budget. Even if you have to reduce how much you spend on those things, at least it's there for you to enjoy yourself with. The next tip to help you see long-term success with your money is to automate your savings and investments. So saving and investing, which are both things that are ultimately for the long term, can feel overwhelming, can make you feel like, well, I would rather have that money now so I can do whatever I want to do. But with all of the demands on your time, your energy, your budget, and with probably the life you want to live in the future, you should make this process as easy as possible. And automation can help you do that. Automation and automating your savings and investments is one of the easiest ways to build that long-term wealth without having to think about it constantly. So when you set up your automatic transfers into a savings account or your automatic transfers to purchase certain investments, you are ensuring that you are paying yourself first, and that is a top priority for you. So Whether it's 10% of your paycheck or a set dollar amount that works within your budget, automating your savings and investments really helps you stay consistent, helps you stay on track as you work towards your financial goals, and helps you build that long-term security blanket that we all need. So, if you're not sure how much you can afford to automate in terms of savings and investments, make sure you look at your budget. Your budget is going to tell you, after your bills, expenses, and fund spending are accounted for, how much you can put towards saving and investing. So, get that number and start there. And remember, the goal is to not need the money that you are saving or investing. Okay, so whatever that amount is, just make sure that it's not an amount you're going to miss. Now, another benefit to automation is it takes the emotional decision making out of the equation. You are less likely to skip a contribution because of an unexpected expense, or you're less likely to have that temptation to spend because that money is automatically leaving your account. And ideally, you want to set it up to right when you get paid so you don't miss that money. Not to mention, when you are saving and investing over the long haul, and that investment and savings amount grows over time automatically, you are taking advantage of the power of compounding gains over time, and there really is no better return on investment. The next tip for long-term success with your money is to monitor your spending regularly. And if just the thought of that irks your soul, just hear me out. It is so easy to spend mindlessly. It's so easy for spending to spiral out of control when you're not paying attention. And this delays long-term success with your money. Monitoring your spending regularly helps you stay aware of where your money is going, and you can make sure that it aligns with your goals. So how do you get started doing this? Well, I recommend you start tracking your spending and expenses weekly or bi-weekly, but anything further out, you're less likely to catch any issues. You're less likely to course correct your spending behavior. So weekly, bi-weekly at the most. And when you do this, this practice really helps you stay accountable to yourself and your budget, but also helps you identify problem areas or patterns, things like overspending on takeout or subscriptions you forgot about, right? So tracking your spending allows you to catch things that need to be adjusted so that you can see success with your money long term. Now, if you've tried tracking before and you can't seem to stick to it, try something different, right? What tracking method have you been using? Have you just been writing things down? Have you just been keeping receipts? Switch it up. Use a spreadsheet. Invest in software to track your spending. Consider an app. Try something different. And if for whatever reason nothing on your own seems to be working, consider working with a coach or an accountability partner. A key aspect of my financial coaching program is holding my clients accountable to tracking their spending in preparation for our weekly calls. So if you're meeting with me once a week, your spending needs to be tracked. And so eventually that becomes a habit and routine, and it's just something that becomes second nature. And that's ultimately what we want when it comes to tracking our spending. We want it to become second nature so it doesn't seem like such a tedious task. And, regularly reviewing your spending gives you the opportunity to make adjustments as needed. You can course correct when you know you've overspent on something early in the month. If you had decided to wait on that and not catch that or not course correct, you could do a lot of damage in the month. The final tip I have for you for long-term success with your money is to get clear on your dream life and how you can get there. So by setting clear goals. If you haven't taken the time to think about what you want your life to look like ultimately, take some time to do that. What does your dream life look like? Is it a beachside retirement? Is it traveling the world? Is it owning your dream home? Getting clear on your vision of a life that you ultimately want gives your financial decisions a purpose. It makes controlling your spending and practicing delayed gratification that much easier because you know what you're working towards. So if you haven't already, take some time to reflect on what truly matters to you and outline your short and long-term goals. And once you know what you're working towards, you can break those goals down into actionable steps so that you can get there. Sometimes when we focus on the end result, it's so easy to kind of drive ourselves crazy, like, how am I ever going to get there? But this is why breaking down your goals into actionable steps and milestones can make your life a lot easier. Not to mention, clear goals keep you motivated. So whether it's paying off debt, saving for a big purchase, or just building wealth, having a roadmap, which is basically your goals, makes it easier for you to stay focused, to track your progress, and to make sure that you are doing what you need to be doing as you work towards those goals. So the only other thing I'll add about this is to make sure that you regularly review and adjust your goals, especially if your vision of your dream life changes. And it's okay if it does. Anything can happen and it can totally throw things off or throw what you thought you wanted off, and that's okay. Be sure to adjust accordingly and you'll be fine. So I hope these tips help you see that future-focused, forward-thinking, long-term mindset with your money is the way to go. And no matter what your situation looks like, you should be budgeting, saving, and investing for the long term. So no YOLO with your money.